Whether you're a true whiskey fan or looking for a gift for the whiskey drinker in your life, Flaviar is your exclusive backstage pass. Flaviar offers a monthly subscription that delivers a carefully chosen whiskey right to your doorstep.
In addition, their tasting boxes give you a broad array of samples hand-picked by the experts themselves.
This holiday season, check out Flaviar's Advent Calendar. Every day in December, you can open a different door to a delicious new whiskey.
Go to flaviar.com/Cinemavino to start your adventure in the world of whiskey. Use promo code Cinemavino10 to save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more. That's flaviar.com/Cinemavino, promo code Cinemavino10. And welcome back to Cinemavino. It's good to have you guys here with us.
It's good to be here.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, it's after the election. We're just giddy.
Oh, everyone's happy.
Just wonderful.
We've already had a little White Russian, and Sean gave us a crispy beer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Todd gave you a crispy beer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Todd's crispy beer?
It was.
Thank you for the crispy beer.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I think for most people, modern elections are either a celebration or a wake afterwards. And so, you know, I'll let you guess where we fall in that category, but it's not a celebration. So, we're going to talk about Big Lebowski. We're going to drown our sorrows with a happy movie. Your comedies sound good for the rest of November.
Yeah.
Something lighthearted, something to distract. I know that.
Nothing like a comedy about nihilism.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're doing Schindler's List next.
Yeah. Just a feel-good holiday season for you. That's just a lot to give thanks
The
for.
November of fascism.
Exactly.
Good thing is we get to watch Dead Snow.
Yeah. And The Pianist.
Oh. Adrian Brody. I went elsewhere.
So we're drinking White Russians for Big Lebowski.
Pianist.
We got Reka Icelandic vodka. Pretty good stuff. And some nice, delicious dairy creamer.
Oh, yeah. What was that coffee liqueur?
I should have grabbed it. I don't know. It was a store recommendation.
I should have grabbed it.
Yeah. I'm not a coffee drinker.
There is a really good local coffee liqueur that you can buy.
Is it the Prairie Wolf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like them.
Yeah, they make a coffee liqueur that's quite good.
By and large, I'm not a coffee drinker, but it's like if there's booze involved, I can get on board, but I just don't know enough about coffee. I know some people swear by coffee.
Well, and it's really gotten popular with the rise of espresso martinis.
Yeah.
This is a Rocktown coffee liqueur.
From Arkansas. Yeah.
From Arkansas by Rocktown Distillery, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Home of Bill Clinton.
There you go. Interesting. But yeah, it makes a pretty good Caucasian. So, but yeah, for those who don't know, White Russians originally started off as Black Russians with vodka and Kahlua. Somebody had the idea of adding creamer half and half and turn it into White Russian. And the drink saw a huge boost in popularity with the release of the movie we're about to cover. It's just part of the dude's makeup that he enjoys White Russians en masse.
Really bizarre choice.
It is.
I love it.
And he refers to them as Caucasians.
Right.
But that's one of the joys of this movie is nothing goes how you think it will. You know, especially in the early viewings of it. It winds and bends in a weird way in terms of its plot and characters. So it's unapologetically strange.
Is there anything special about an Icelandic vodka?
Not really. I just remember, like, I'm not a big vodka drinker, but I remember liking that vodka when we sampled it.
So you're not a big vodka drinker.
Not a big
coffee drinker.
Yeah, I know, and I don't love dairy. So, yeah.
What are we doing here, Todd?
Yeah, but at the same time, there's no way you could cover this movie and not drink a White Russian.
Yeah.
It feels wrong, you know? So, Big Lebowski. This movie came out March 6th, 1998. And it grossed just under $50 million against a $15 million budget.
Yes, calling this a cult classic doesn't quite cut it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you got that off of my notes.
I mean, that's a decent profit, but at the same time, it's not big.
It doesn't reflect the status of the movie now.
Well, yeah, and it's not like blockbuster, performance. Like, it still had to marinate a little bit.
Say it again, because I was just waiting for my cue.
$50 million against a $15 million. Okay. But, it's like, this is literally a cult classic in the sense that the dude has inspired...
It's a $35 million profit, by the way.
Mm-hmm. The dude has inspired a religion of, like, dudism.
Yeah.
There's
T-shirts.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an ordained ministry of dude priests.
And there's a documentary about the fans called The Achievers.
Yeah, this is probably the ultimate cult movie in terms of its following. and that it actually inspired religion.
Travis, you had a Halloween costume in 2019. I think it was you were the dude Thor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Thor Lebowski. So this was written and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. This was immediately after their Oscar-winning film Fargo, and compared to that, which was a very bleak
weird choice.
comedy, this is a much more freewheeling, much more ramshackle, much more eccentric movie than that one. This one is just off the rails. It's almost an experiment to see how eccentric of a screenplay they could put together.
Which one did they do after this? Oh, Brother?
I believe so. I believe that was their next one. So, pretty good run of movies.
Yeah, Coen Brothers, they're really good, but really weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, but both of these movies, both Fargo and Oh Brother, feature people from this movie. Mm-hmm. In a sense that you've got Steve Buscemi and Peter Stormare, who are the killers in Fargo, are in this movie. Donnie and Carl Hungus, Uli.
yeah. Oh Brother was right after this. Also, I looked it up earlier, but we went by. The dude drinks 9 White Russians over the course of the movie.
It's a healthy amount of White Russians.
He doesn't drink all of them all the way through.
Right.
Yeah. Well, especially the one where he gets strong-armed into a limo. You know, a lot of that spills on the way in.
Well, and the one that falls on the ground, Jackie Treehorn.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So a few of them definitely get victimized.
Now, as for the Coen Brothers, I know it's a good sign for actors to want to work with a director again, right? So when you see like a stretch like this, where you see an actor kind of stay with a director for multiple movies, or like middle of one project, they kind of like start chit-chatting about another project and kind of stay on with them. I know Tarantino's like that a lot. Spielberg's like that a lot. Coen Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, because in Oh Brother, you've got John Turturro, the Jesus, John Goodman.
I'm the Jesus.
So yeah, they have a whole roster of people that they tend to bring in.
Has anybody watched the unofficial sequel to this, Jesus Rolls or whatever?
Never seen it.
Oh,
it's a short, isn't it?
No, it's a full movie, I believe. John Turturro just really wanted to. He loved this pederast role that he played, and he wanted to explore that, I guess. Yeah. And I have not seen it, but I would imagine it's trash.
Is Turturro in Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
He's the do not seek the treasure.
Do not seek the treasure. Yeah, you're right. I've been watching The Penguin, and he played
Falcone. Carmine Falcone.
Yeah. He played like a bad guy mobster.
No.
So that's
but Mark Strong played it in the series, not Turturro.
Yeah. Because it's like flashbacks.
Yeah, they got Sinestro to play Carmine Falcone.
I know.
Weird.
Yeah. So.
Oh, he was also Dr. Savannah in the Shazam movies. Like, just Mark Strong is,
you know what, they just don't care about
they just
recasting.
Mark Strong. And I don't blame them. I love Mark Strong.
Yeah. So say we all. So this film doesn't really have any kind of actual story momentum. Oh. It just kind of drifts from one scene to the next, like flotsam, like a lazy river. Basic plot has the dude as a middle-aged layabout who gets pulled into a bizarre, winding mystery that involves kidnapping, blackmail, and assault. In the midst of it all the dude wants is rug back and to smoke blunts and bowl.
Well, he wants a replacement rug.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's basically the story of the Odyssey.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean...
No, it's not.
It certainly isn't.
I was going to say the Iliad, but yeah. So...
What part is the sacking of Troy?
Probably when he's getting his head stuffed in the toilet bowl.
Achilles! Troy is a good movie. We should do that one.
It is.
Taylor loves Troy.
I love Troy.
Boagrius.
So the dude's investigation takes him to a man with the same name as him, Jeffrey Lebowski, and his young trophy bride, Bunny, played by Tara Reid. Bunny is in debt with the wrong people, including a pornographer named Jackie Treehorn, who treats objects like women.
It's a great name.
Who's the villain from Roadhouse?
Oh, yeah. Along for the mystery are his two best buddies, fiery, belligerent Walter Sobchak, played by John Goodman, and he's a converted Jew still haunted by the horrors of Vietnam that he may or may not have actually witnessed.
The horrors?
Horrors.
Okay, not the horrors.
No, he didn't specify.
Okay. Horrors. And Donnie, who is a mousy stooge who always seems to be one step behind the rest of the conversation.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
Around these guys is a growing circle of weirdos: the Jesus, John Turturro, Maud, played by Julianne Moore, the Nihilist, played by Peter Stormare, Flea, and comedian Stephen Merchant, and Knox Harrington.
What? Stephen Merchant? Was the third? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's one of the Nihilists. And the Stranger, played by Sam Elliott.
Don't forget Smokey.
And Smokey, whoever
Over
played
the line,
him.
man.
And PSH.
Playing Brandt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
He is an underrated person in this movie.
Yeah, I was watching this movie. Jonah comes down and just goes, "Isn't he dead?" Like, yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I love it when his like little subtle acting whenever he's like gets flustered, but when Lebowski's like touching the stuff he just told him not to touch, he goes. And the same thing with Bunny, who is like when she offers for him, and he's like, our guest has to be going now.
Wonderful woman.
You're wonderful.
Very spirited.
We got
Suck your dick for $1,000.
Just got to go find a cash machine.
like every time I see this film, like I have a different favorite, and this time it was Phillip Seymour Hoffman. I was like, God, he just fucking killing it.
He steals everything that he's in. He
Yes,
just has
he
like
has so few lines, but he just killed it the whole time.
he perfectly plays like that, like tightly wound stooge, you know, just like
He's awesome. And yet so different than his previous part in Boogie Nights he played right before this, you know.
And Twister.
He's just versatile.
God,
Did you see his nutsack in this movie?
oof.
I assume it is too.
And we're the poorer for it.
Yeah, that'd be an extra half point.
He would have made it like a great Renfield.
He would.
He would. I mean, he kind of played Renfield in this movie.
Yeah. And Boogie Nights.
And Twister.
And Twister. Holy shit.
So, okay, 3 questions. And I'll ask each of you guys.
Commando.
Yeah, of course.
Briefs.
Boxer briefs early in the week, then the gradual transition to commando.
We just turned
Because the hole in the bottom of the box briefs just sort of slowly disintegrates outward.
What is the first quote? This is one of those quotable movies ever. What's the first quote that pops into your head when you think of this movie?
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
Am I the only one who? What is it? Am I the only one who follows the rules?
No one gives a shit about the rules.
Am I the only one who gives a shit about the rules? It's because you scream it. It's a screaming line.
Oh, yeah. It's like, do you have to use so many cuss words?
That's what comes to mind for you?
I mean, it's like just that whole scene, but yeah, that's just like the crux of the thing.
Who's got your undies, Walter?
Over the line, mark it
Oh,
zero.
then, yeah, Steve was like, I am the walrus. I am the walrus. Then John's like, V.I. Lenin. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah, you're out of your element, Donnie. That's most of my quotes come from him. Almost all of them come from John Goodman in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the In-N-Out Burger near Camrose. Yeah.
Near the In-N-Out Burger.
Near the In-N-Out.
Near the In-N-Out Burger.
And of course, my favorite. Well, every time I say I have a favorite, I remember I have another one. But this is what happens when you have fun with a stranger in the Alps.
Mm-hmm. The edited
TV version of the other. You don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Who is your favorite supporting character in this movie?
Brandt.
You like Brandt?
This time around, it was Brandt.
And it's a scenario where you have a different person. You can pick a different person every time.
I mean, John Goodman is the main answer, but he's in it so much.
I was going to say, he hardly counts as a supporting character.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say either Maud or Donnie. Donnie just has like, he plays his character so well that he's just like, just on the periphery of kind of getting it, but also you feel bad for him the whole time, and you're just like, no, come on, Walter, be
Always
nice
a
to
step
Donnie.
behind. Yeah.
He just wanted to hang out with the Coen brothers some more. He was like, hey, man, I'll just show up. I just want to see, hey, what are you doing? I'll come to the set for a couple days. And they're like, hey, do you want to be in it? I mean, I'm sure.
And the fact that his death is like the kind of the climax of this movie, a movie that has no real trajectory or direction. You know, it's that much more impactful that you just fall in love with him throughout the movie, and he dies.
It's so weird that when this came out and you could see the trailer, they didn't know how to market it, and so they
How would you?
Well, they almost did it as if it was like a noir detective story. So we went and saw it, and I was like, there's none of that in here.
Yeah.
Like, I remember reading an article about the movie before we went and saw it, or maybe after it. And all it talked about mainly were like the dream sequences when he gets knocked out or drugged or something. And it was talking about, oh yeah, it was so great. We don't know how they did whatever special effect, or it's very surreal, and all the costuming. And the big thing at the time is that they showed had an actor that looked like Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
And that was like the big thing in the movie that they would show during the trailers, and they're like, holy shit, what is this movie about?
I think that was one of my favorite lines that stood out, is at the very top of the movie, Sam Elliott's kind of giving the voiceover of like setting the scene. He's like, this happened way back in 92 when we was going at it with Saddam Hussein. And I was like, that was just the first time.
Yeah. Right around the time of our conflict with Saddam and the Iraqis.
Yeah. And I love how the dude is just like such a mirror for everybody that talked. Like, you see it right at the very beginning. He's writing the check for 69 cents, and he looks up and sees George Bush saying like, this aggression will not stand. And he's like, he totally used that later. Mm-hmm. Yes. Later in the movie. And then anytime, like, he just takes on the phrases of other people. It's like, what? But
this aggression will not stand, man.
From the Beaver picture.
Coitus?
Yeah, there's a lot of callbacks and stuff like that.
It's great. He really is a Shakespearean fool.
Yeah.
You just like, you hear somebody say something once, and then he says it again, sort of out of context to a different character down the line, and you're like, has he ever had an original thought in his life? Or he's just a mirror.
He just regurgitates what
he's a parrot.
Of any person that he's met or talked to.
And he's based on a real guy that the Coen brothers knew. I think his name was Jeff O'Dowd.
Yes.
He was called the Dude. And he was one of the original authors, I believe, of the Port Huron Statement. Like
I was one of the Seattle Seven.
One of the 6 other guys. But supposedly Metallica loved the bit where he says he was a roadie for the...
No, he was in the music industry.
Yeah, and he was a roadie for Metallica in the Speed of Sound tour, which doesn't exist. And he said a bunch of assholes. Supposedly they love that scene, like where he described them as a bunch of assholes. So,
well, they were a bunch of assholes.
There you go.
Daisy chain assholes.
So, next question: what would you guys give this? I think I can predict at least Travis's rating, but
I mean, to me, it's so much of a cult classic. For me personally, it's a 10. It's great. The rewatchability for me, again, is off the charts. For regular schmuck off the street, you got to watch it once. They'll probably say, "Oh, okay, it's a 7," or if they didn't get it, at the very least, a 6.5. Mm-hmm. If they're like, "I didn't really get it,"
no, you're almost not supposed to get it the first time.
Yeah, the first time you watch it is the first time you watch it. The second time is when you get it, or when you start to absorb it. You're like, all right.
It's the first time you got to let it wash all over you.
Yes,
got to marinate in it.
Mm-hmm. Sean, what would you give it?
I'd give it an 8. It's got a lot of rewatchability, but at the same time, like you said, the plot just really meanders. You kind of have to be in the right mood for this to be a 10, for it to like hit you just right. And I wasn't, and I don't know if that's more on me or, because it is a cult classic. I mean, this is a movie that like I've seen a million times, and seeing it a million in the first time doesn't really like stand out as like, whoa, man, I was so impacted by this movie. I was like, yeah, that's Lebowski.
Yeah.
The irony of it, which I think kind of I picked up on this time, was the movie is known as The Big Lebowski. Everybody knows Lebowski is Lebowski. Mm-hmm. The whole premise of the movie is that he is not Lebowski. He is the dude.
Yeah.
He hates being called Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski is the other guy.
Yeah, that's the other guy.
I think I saw this in high school. So, very formative years. And then this became something we would watch all the time. And then when we were hip and cool, early 20s, this was one of the movies we would put on in the background when we were having a drink before we go to the bar and spend all the money that we didn't have.
Well, before the internet was what it is, humor was just quoting movies at each other loudly, right? Mm-hmm. This, Talladega Nights, handful of other old school,
Billy
absolutely.
Madison,
Pulp Fiction.
and Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, absolutely.
I mean, I've seen Napoleon Dynamite. Did you see Napoleon Dynamite?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The movies that you would just quote at each other loudly, that was the peak of comedy.
And we've talked about this, I think, in our podcast that you and I did, where I think the last movie that really hit that was Superbad.
Yeah. Kind of peaked with Superbad, and then after that, the internet kind of took over.
Memes and social media, yeah.
Goddamn memes, ruining jokes.
Yeah. So, I mean, now that was the last, like, at the very edge of, like, where you could be a kid and watch a movie and just quote it to all your friends.
Yeah, I think that was the defining, like, millennial humor trademark, was, like, that's where we really shined, was just screaming quotes at each other.
Social currency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I would give this a 9.5. Shockingly, I wouldn't give it a 10.
That's 9.5 is harsh. What will get you there?
So two things. Number one, it is a long movie. It's over 2 hours for a movie that has no substance
I think
to
it's
it.
right
I think
at
it's just
2.
Yeah, I think it's either
3 minutes
like,
shy of 2.
Yeah, it's minute 97.
It feels
Or
long.
57.
Yeah. For a movie that has almost no substance to it.
Yeah.
It's a long, but I like, my note was like, it's light on substance, but it's rich with flavor. It's rich with characters. It's rich with detail.
It's like Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
How like it's perfectly designed to, I think the term is mouth memory.
Mm-hmm.
So where you eat the chip and your mouth immediately like enjoys it and then forgets about it. It doesn't like overwhelm your palate.
Yeah.
Which makes you just continue to eat a whole bag of Doritos. So it's a whole thing, like the food science behind it.
my whole life.
Exactly.
Jeez.
The food science behind it is that your mouth forgets it quickly. And I think that's kind of how this movie is.
Doritos is a great metaphor.
It's a great soundtrack though too. This is the movie that introduced me to Townes Van Zandt.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Man, when I first saw that, they spoke my language.
Yeah,
that was my
fuck
least
you.
favorite.
I thought
band.
you hated the Eagles because you saw this movie.
I mean, it's
and
chicken-
wanted to be cool like Lebowski.
It's
Be like,
chicken
I
and
hate
egg, but
that.
it's like it predates that.
It reinforced your beliefs. Yeah.
I love the Eagles. I was exactly the opposite. I had the very best of the Eagles. I played the shit out of that.
I
can't hide
What was
your
your
lion
favorite
eyes.
Eagles song?
Lion Eyes. Let's see. Yeah.
What do they play in this movie? Is it Lion Eyes?
They also do
Take It Easy?
Hotel California. Oh, they've got the shit. Who is it? Gypsy King's version of Hotel California.
For the Jesus?
And then I don't know what they're actually playing in the cab ride.
I think it might be Lion Eyes.
Maybe. Okay.
It's rough.
You know, now that you say that, I totally missed that it was the Eagles, but it was a cover of the Eagles, the Hotel
Yeah.
California cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's great.
Clever.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's like you can rewatch it and catch new things.
Kenny Rogers, right?
Doing what condition my condition was
yes.
in. It's crazy.
That one was good. Yeah.
But before he became a country singer, he was in a psychedelic band called First Edition.
Yeah.
That sang just acid trip songs.
But Townes Van Zandt fucks. God, I love him.
You got Bob Dylan. Like almost the theme of the movie is Bob Dylan's "The Man in Me," which shows up
Yes.
several times. That's almost the dude's theme.
Yeah.
Because he's listening to it later on the headphones. But I also enjoy looking out my back door after he gets the proctology exam.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah,
make sure everything's working down there.
It's
very
the tape
thorough.
deck and the Credence.
I wish you would see this doctor. He's very good. Very thorough.
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 It's Sandra Bapanali.
I mean, she's great too with her little transatlantic accent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
Like I said, she might be one of my favorite.
the very word makes some men fearful. Vagina. Oh, it's great. I love it. But yeah, I would say it's a little bit too long. It's a little bit too much. And I mean, it has to be repeated. What Sam Elliott says, it's a bummer what happens to old Donnie.
It was a bummer.
Another.
It's a gray cloud at the end of the
Another
movie.
one of those random quotes I love is like, who the fuck are the Knutsons?
Fawn Knutson.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite bit from this movie, or like one that stands out to you?
It's tough to narrow it down. I do love the Carl Hungus and the log jamming. You know, I'm here to fix Dinah Kabel, German porn star.
I think the first one I loved was Walter like telling Donnie to shut the fuck up all the time.
Ein est expert.
But yeah,
I think my favorite is him going into his apartment and immediately tripping over the 2x4. But the scene where he's hammering the 2x4 and then he puts the chair against the door and then the door immediately opens backwards.
Great.
it's just a good demonstration of what an idiot he is. It's awesome.
I do love the fact that like when you rewatch it, Walter is almost 100% correct the whole time. Like she kidnapped herself, dude. It's somebody else's toe. They just put, I can get you a toe.
Mm-hmm. You want a toe? I can get you a toe.
Put nail polish on it. And it, like, just about everything he says is kind of spot. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
After you rewatch it, you're like, this guy is right?
Walter knew the whole time.
He doesn't roll on the Sabbath.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's Erev Shabbos. Oh man, yeah, it's like everything. It's just such a. We could spend the whole time just quoting this movie. I think I've quoted every line of it at least once in my life.
You're Polish Catholic.
Also, Walter can hold his own in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the shit out of all those guys.
I think we all expected that.
And he goes full Mike Tyson on the one guy.
Yeah.
Bites his ear off. It's like, Donnie, please.
Of the three of us, who would bite somebody's ear off in a fight?
Of the three of us, that's a tough pitch because, I mean, the correct answer is D, none of the above.
I mean, I'm not hungry.
I feel like it's Todd.
Todd?
Yeah. There's a chance. There's a chance.
You got chompers.
If we had Tay here, I think Tay would be the correct answer.
Yeah, maybe.
But Tay would do it like a nose.
He would do it as a bit.
Yeah.
You see what I did to that guy's nose?
What's happening?
What is happening?
But yeah, this is a good comfort movie. This is one of the movies I can go back to and laugh and find new things and enjoy every time.
This give you some warm fuzzies.
It was good. It was a good pick-me-up after the events of this month. So, it's been another episode of Cinemavino. We got T-Bud, Sean Jordan.
Hey.
My name's Todd Wofford. Check out flavier.com/Cinemavino. Pick out some whiskey you like for the holidays. Makes a great gift. Promo code Cinemavino10.
They do a whiskey... What's it called?
Advent calendar.
Advent calendar.
Yeah, you can go in.
You can do a little whiskey advent calendar.
Yeah, coming in December, that'd be a great idea, especially if you're a whiskey fan, if you're looking for a gift for a whiskey fan.
If you want to get blitzing.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have a whiskey drink? Yeah, vodka drink.
You have a drink to remember the good times?
Drink
to remind you of the bad times.
Where's Chumbawamba when we need them?
I've been saying.
We need them
They
now
got
more
knocked
than...
down.
They'll get up again.
And
Full circle.
It's a great metaphor for our country.
Spin the wheel of destiny.
Pissing the night away.
Mm-hmm. Great movies, only drunker. Tune in next time. We're going to do Galaxy Quest, another great comfort movie. So,
hell yeah, brother.
we will see you guys next time.
Deuces.